you'll pop Shadow Dance, you'll live a little longer. But when you come out of that Shadow Dance, you still got to face this troll that's got a million buffs, every single buff coming out on top of him underneath the sun. It's not an easy slot game.
There's also, they have no team fight at all on Into the Breach. Like, actually, zero team fight. So Secret already has the one up on that, especially when they hit 15 minutes. The Techie Shard's going to give them this huge team fight with the Invoker. This one looks a bit tough, actually. I'm not crazy about this Slark pick. I feel like the three cores kind of do the same thing. So it's really up to the supports to be all the playmakers. Because yeah, I think all three of these cores are kind of right clickers in a way. Like Razor, he's going to be this shut down the troll kind of style, but I don't really see like a... I'm trying to think of it when it's like, all right, guys, let's group up. You know, let's get these tower push. We have X online. I don't see that. Well, for Secret, I can see a lot of timings for their lineup to kind of hit these benchmarks to be able to push and fight into.
I mean, sort of the driving force that they could rally around would be, you know, if we get a good start from the Lina. But as you said yourself, you're already concerned about the matchup. This is a lane where Lina's probably going to struggle and not be able to have an explosive beginning.
Yeah, I think the Lina should still farm. I think invoke the heroes that you lane fine as well. You're able to just out-sustain, so...
Well, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick it off in Game 2 now between Team Secret and Into the Breach. We'll see if Into the Breach is going to sort of be able to hold their own in the early game as they were able to do last game, or if this one's going to be even more brutal. And yeah, definitely the potential for things to go downhill fast if some of these lanes don't go off to a hot start. If Slark starts to struggle early on, it's going to be very hard for a Taker to get himself back in on this game.
Yeah, I'm going to be watching a lot. I mean, I'm going to try to watch a lot of mid too, because I always like the Lina versus Invoker matchups, because some of these Invokers can pull ahead. But, you know, Nisha has been so amazing, of course, on his Invokers and his laning for such a long time. He's going to do this Quas Wex, burn the Lina's mana, constantly reset versus him. And yeah, let's see how bottom does. I'm curious to see how the Marcy core versus the Slark does. And with the backup of a Techies, I think that's kind of the bigger thing. How much he's going to be able to just mess with the Slark, keep him low HP. They have to have a ton of regen bottom.
See you here with the setup, trying to find some action if Secret do come heading over into the Breach's half of the map, but Secret won't be making that move.
Oh, Morty! Oh, it's about to start, Morty.
A lot of pressure on the supports of Into the Breach to set stuff up early.
Yeah, they're gonna have to kind of make all the moves for the most part of this game, unless the Lina has a really explosive start. Or the Razor, I guess, if he's able to just run people down with links and stuff like that, but... Let's see.
Game start! It starts! It started!
I'm able to step up here for this rune.
We'll get drained away, though. Gonna get walked for a little bit from Jibe, but 3 runes for Secret. Quite a hefty amount of damage. But he's got an Omni.
No. Yeah, we'll see how much sort of the Razor's presence in this lane will be able to mess with Chrysalis. Of course, you know, as a troll, you're a hero that has the ability to CS regardless if your damage gets drained. The opportunity to CS from a distance. So definitely not one of those, because you're a half melee hero. At least, you know, a melee hero that's going to get, really feel the heat laning up against a Razor.
No, it's not the worst of the worst. You've got axes to slow him down and distance yourself. You have, yeah, like you said, ways to hit without damage, etc. So. Good lane. The constant EMP spam to keep this Lina low mana, and then the Quas regen. Well, bottom, it is a level 1 sidekick to start on Rezo. It has quite a long cooldown. Alright. Level 36.
Once we'll be able to CS and sustain here on the first few creeps, have that edge.
Yeah. This damage also on denies too, so you can always give a good laning prowess.
I mean, this is, you know, I look at this bottom lane. This is a lane where, you know, mentally, a Taker, he's got to be super focused and online here. Because if you start to die in this lane against the Techies and the Marcy, it's a lane that you can easily tilt in.
Absolutely.
These are heroes that are designed to tilt you.
Yeah, this is the lane to watch for action. Mid lane is the one to watch for like just straight up lane understanding, but bottom is the one to watch for constant aggression that's going to be coming up with Techies and CM. Top, I think, is the most boring lane, personally. The Razor versus the Troll, because it's just going to be like lane pulling and stuff like that.
So. I mean, see how much Taker can get from this lane. I mean, without a doubt, with how long sort of the minutes were, you know, the seconds were going down, you know, down to sort of the final second on that last pick, and we saw, you know, very much discussion had up until that final point. You can only imagine this was a case of, you know, what can you play? What's going to do it? And he says, give me the Slark.
Yeah. Maybe looking at just like the elusiveness and everything. And like we were mentioning, finding a hero that can man fight for Stroll is very difficult. So maybe thinking this was the best of those.
Yeah, outside of the sort of Slark, you're going for some sort of crazy off-meta pick. And that's probably not the best thing to do in a match against Secret. It's going to be a big risk. So.
Bottom, we're seeing, I mean, the harassment, it's already beginning. Like the way that you can't trade easily. This is what I was kind of trying to say with like the sidekick with techies. You constantly throw it on techies. Techies is full HP, and CM, even if you nuke the techies, it's not worth it because he heals from sidekick. So we'll see how they end up how it ends up getting as the lane progresses. Because it feels like I feel like for Slark it gets worse and worse because the damage is going to build up for techies.
So how do you use your spells as a CM in this lane? Like what's the most value?
It's commit for a full kill. You have to use like double spells to commit for a kill.
You just got killed.
I think spamming the spells is not really going to help too much in this lane because they're just going to offset with the heal. Not easy to just straight go for kills though.
See so far other lanes, very equal on the CS mid. Cream 14 for 2, 13 for 4 on Nisha.
See what happens around the next ruin. It's going to be the big one indicator. If Supreme's able to actually get one, then maybe he can actually keep up with Nisha. If he doesn't get the rune though, he's going to be out of mana and can't keep this Fiery Soul stack.
I'll see how much focus Secret's able to bring in around the mid. Some support movements.
Supreme actually going to be getting his bounty rune, so nice movement by him to fill up his bottle. And he's going to be going for bottom room. So Nisha, they're actually pinging it. Zayats actually saw him pinging, so I guess they saw the Lina moving down. And Nisha can probably play for top rune, and maybe Zayats will help for bottom rune. We're seeing that move already.
Weak.
So yeah, Supreme, he gets his bounty, at least to fill up his bottle, but he's not going to get one of these. Good job.
You see them in the mid as well, not only not getting the rune, but getting his mana burnt, Supreme.
Yep. Constant spam from that Invoker, that's why that matchup ends up being a little annoying for Lina. Just unable to keep Fiery Soul stacks.
Structures are fortified.
Looking at top, as we haven't touched, it's the boring lane, of course. Fraser doing excellent, 18 to 9. Definitely shutting down the troll quite nicely with Ahri. Ahri holding a skill point just in case too. Toss back play.
I mean, yeah, could there be kill potential for these two on into the breach? See them try.
Man, you might as well save that
Good chase down onto Crystallis of Turn with the axis to apply the mischance to Jibbe. Slows him down as well, the both of them. Good axe usage there from Crystallis. Will allow him to step to safety.
Yeah, he put the point in the stun rather than saving for toss. I think maybe with the toss, they could have actually perhaps fully committed for a kill just to Either way, they push him back to the tower, and Crystallis is very low HP, can't let you step up anyway. So maybe it's just better. That's mid. Welcome back to the lane, Supreme. Stun.
Sixes are going to be coming online for both, so. Back top, Crystallis. He's going to get run down. They'll get first blood off that.
Ooh, he actually stayed. He actually stayed and showed his face versus these two at like sub half HP.
Yeah, I mean, you said yourself, you know, after he was left that low, you'd imagine he'd be sitting away from the wave for some time, but risks his life there and loses it. Of course, now Ahri not able to have enough sort of save potential at this low level to keep him alive if he steps up like that.
Yeah, now Ahri can make the rotation to mid because of that kill. He can actually ensure this power win perhaps for Supreme.
And Nisha,
Nisha.
He's super low there. He'll get caught in the setup. Have they got quite enough first? Doesn't look like Nisha lays down the EMP, is on the retreat. And as it will be, the power rune ends up being bottom. Kadara will grab that here, some DDCM, ready for some action.
Good laning moves though, especially in the top lane as we saw. Almost able to even get the kill onto Nisha. Supreme still definitely gonna struggle. Wasn't able to find that rune. Probably gonna have to even back up and heal.
Gets his mana up and they get another rotation into the mid. They have kill potential around the Laguna.
You see the constant healing, right? The quas, and then just even raindrops. All these little things for the Invoker to offset anything that
bottom lane, they're going to try for the setup here. See if they've got enough damage through the silence. Not quite. Kadara's in with the TP. The Taker's going to be fine.
Not actually having the... Oh, yeah, Rezo going for a 0-2-3 build, not having the throwback. Interesting.
You know, he wants to punch, he wants to be able to stand his ground man fight, and he wants to be able to offer up the buff.
Yeah. I mean, it does give them extra damage and stuff like that, but yeah, Dispose, the first level is very valuable.
I'm interested to see if we get a bit of a different route with his item build as well as the offlaner.
I doubt it.
It's got to be phase BKB.
Basher. There's like no, I don't think there's much you can vary with on this hero, except if you like throw in like a Falcon Blade, if you're like a carry or something like that, I think. It's just too good of a build. It literally fits all your needs.
And it's all you need to be able to get these ultra kills, as we've seen.
And the really important thing that I will tell people, and this is kind of one of the big things about the Marcy, it's the ult pierces BKB the slow, which is kind of one of the bigger things. Is even when they get it, the attack speed slow, the movement slow, and the procs, it slows them through it. So.
That's going to come in huge. If you sort of imagine these fights where maybe Rezo getting in on top of the Razor, and that slow sort of allowing, despite the BKB, you know, allowing the distance to be created between the Troll and the Razor.
Oh, and he is going. Okay, he is going to go the Falcon Blade build. Okay, yeah, I was thinking that's like kind of the only other way that you deviate just to get some mana regen, but I mean it's a lot more farm heavy, and the timing does come out much shorter.
Alright, I mean, playing it to the later points of the game worked out well in game one, so, you know, just chill out and, you know, take sort of the easier, slower steps through your build. Up. Nice knockback. Be able to finish off Puppy here, maybe. You go for a TP. Goodbye.
With that, Crystal's maybe walking back to the lane. Jibe is getting good damage on tower, while Kidaro does fall bottom.
And Nisha ready for a bit of action. Comes in with the rotation. A bit of a slow start in terms of kills, and make sure that Secret get there first on the board.
Oh, very cool too. Look at his item build. Nisha not going to earn. Even though he's Quasquex, he's going to be going for more of a scaling-oriented build. The Witchblade that we've seen a couple times.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Play treads, double no earn.
With this sort of amount of damage and you sort of catch and control that Secret do have, it's just going to be impossible for Otake to turn up to any fight anytime soon. You know, it's just so hard for this Slark to take part in any sort of action that Secret brings towards into the breach.
Way to go!
This is really nice though. With that rotation from mid, you see Supreme get heavy damage onto mid tower, actually 1/3 HP. Now mid though, Zayats, Nisha.
Look at the setup, see if Supreme can offer any help. He is going to live. About sort of 7 HP, I think he was falling down towards. So we'll see Rezo's courier also getting sniped by Otake, so Falcon Blade will sit on the sidelines for a few moments.
Every little thing mattering there. Shovel, raindrop, even branch. That's the things that make the difference for the CM to survive. Next to the tower for the armor, etc. And Supreme gets another rune as well. They'll spawn up top. All things considered, pretty good. Burn to the breach, the troll, as we know, very shut down. So is the Slark, though. At the same time, he's kind of similar net worth as Crystallis.
Yeah, and there's sort of the difference in difficulty for the recovery of both of these heroes is going to be the fact, right, that at a point, Otake, he's going to need to feed off kills. You know, he's got to find those sort of opportunities to take down heroes. Because as it goes to the AFK farm, a troll going for the Battle Fury, he's going to win the sort of scaling every day.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot more pressure on the map, it would feel, for the Slark, as we mentioned. There's toss back, Ari. Knight's able to actually jump himself out of there. Somehow survive anyway. And yeah, there's going to be a lot more pressure on the map overall, what it would feel like from Secret's draft. Because these 3 cores from into the breach are very just farm heavy.
Ooh, nice catch there from the trees, but no follow-up.
Let's go on the magic build on the Lina as we see the Aether Lands Arcane Boost.
Against these heroes, you know, being able to play the distance and have to set up for the burst. Gives them that chance to maybe catch Nisha by surprise. See the chase here. Kidaro puts a position in the trees to lay down the ult. We'll see him take a look to get involved. He's going to find Puppy. This will, should definitely be a kill here, unless Puppy can do some fast moves, but trapped against the trees. There's no way for him to get down. It's the breach. They'll take out a kill.
We get the Agi? No.
Yeah, that's going to feel a bit bad.
I'm always check. And Rezo, he switched back. He bought the Blades of Attack Oh no, he actually
No, he was on the courier. It died on the courier.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Falcon Blade, and then I mean, he's massive. He's pretty much going to be the one position, it feels like, this game now. Him and Nisha. Perhaps that's why we did see Nisha also go Witchblade, because they see their troll is struggling. They want to have these scaling builds. They can throw the buffs on Nisha at the same time too, right? You don't have to buff the troll. You can
That's true. Yeah. You thought it was going to be this troll getting all the love. It's not. It's going to be the Marcy.
Yeah, you just heavily aggress either the Marcy or the Invoker, and then they can actually just kind of transition.
Chrysalis is the backup in. He's going to get Battle Fury, AFK, hit the creeps. You know, if they need another carry to come in later on to get the win, he'll be there. But indeed, for the next 10 minutes, it's going to be all about Nisha and Resolution.
Constantly just keeping Supreme like half mana as well. So he gets an Arcane Rune, so we'll be able to perhaps turn up for a fight. But yeah, they're constantly threatening. This is actually one of the slower EU-paced games that I've seen. I know Eastern Europe was very similar to this. These like very low kill counts, but Secret's just kind of happy with like the farm that they're going to be able to just sit back now because Chrysalis, I don't think there's any threat for him to really get invaded on too much from this Radiant draft, especially once this mid tower continues to be alive. It's up to Tiny, like up to Ari, to be the one to get into these jungles, into this triangle to contest it. He's very low level, low farm. They're the ones making plays. Like they're the ones actually on the hunt in this early game, looking to constantly pressure.
They know how strong Rezo is around the ultimate. Anybody who dares step up by this tier 1 tower probably won't last long.
Pinging him. Sure. Waiting in the wings. Rezo trying to get a jump off.
Oh, they'll see him though. Right.
Getting good farm. Ari now taking some lane farm. Jibbe near BKB. Taker also farming bottom. Mage Slayer is complete. They're distributing their wealth pretty decently.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If they want to do anything about this tower push, they're heading over into the breach. They're happy to take this.
There's smoke behind. Look at Ari.
See if Secret's prepared to be jumped upon by this angle. By the Avalanche, Frostbite as well. The land of light strike. The buffs are coming out from Poppy, but it won't be enough. Nisha taken down there as into the breach. Wrap around, and as it seems, catch Secret by surprise, or at least in a manner where they just weren't prepared to have the ability to save their Invoker from getting blown up.
And now they can probably just get this tower too.
Avalanche.
Huge move. Great rotation. Good positioning from Ari.
Dire's middle tower just took a big
nice little bit of
it's gone.
Help maneuvering there from into the breach.
I guess Secret really thought that they could push this tower with the Omni Knight backing up the Invoker, but not the case by any means. Crystal still gets the space, of course, because of that, but Nisha does drop down heavily because of... Dream continues to just get his farm. He's actually... Okay, he's going to buy the shard, I guess, but he's going to be going maybe Blink Dagger. That's kind of cool. So he's going to look to be more of a playmaking Lina as well, rather than being any type of scaling.
Okay.
I like that. I think it needs to happen.
Thumbs up, Zayas. Get caught in the toss. Is he still able to jump away from this? He isn't. You see Rezo attempt to run in on the two of them. You still want to try for an attempt on Ari. Ari staying hidden in the trees. It means that Rezo won't be able to find a way to get in on him. So they'll lose Zayats.
Getting quite a bit of momentum here. Slark getting all the space in the world because of these moves that are happening.
Yeah.
BKB's done for Jibbe, so they could even look to...
They want to go again.
Go again. Ari's seen though. Yeah.
Straight away, look at the jump on him. They'll bail out this one, leave Ari to die. Well, let's see though. Because there is going to be this timing where Slark will be geared up more to turn up to the fights in comparison to the Troll.
Absolutely.
Well, we got Mage Slayer into the Aghanims. You know, this is a full fight build. So as soon as that Axe is done from Oteka, we're going to see into the breach look to make these plays as a 5-man.
Yeah, I feel like Slark's actually quite different now than he used to be how he plays. Like, you get this Axe and you just... I mean, you did do that before, but now it's like you get these Ashen Sift stacks from it, so you're able to fight even better if you connect with them. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It's definitely true. Yeah, into the breach, they'll have this timing to be able to fight a little bit faster, at least where the Troll's not involved. Secret, the rest of the heroes definitely will stay with the fight, but could be situations of 4 versus 5s.
Absolutely. That's it. That's going to be what into the breach will look for.
Zayat still no shard either. We did hit 15 minutes about to have it finished. So that's one that Secret also is a bit reliant on to make active plays around the map when Invoker's not around.
See here.
Rezo.
Alright. He's got the setup on Rezo. Puppey will be able to come out with the buffs and they'll step out. Not enough damage or control coming out from the 3 of Into the Breach.
He's very ready for that. Thought they get the D ward from earlier. Called from Ari, so Taker brings the sentry up there. And yeah, getting close to Ags, so good timings at least for them. Maybe that, okay, so I was saying like I didn't really see what timings, at least from draft that Into the Breach can play around, but perhaps with this, with the Ags on the Slark when it comes out, BKB Razor, that could be a bit of a timing for them. Still no Blink Dagger on Ari for some time, so initiations are going to be a little bit awkward.
Might be just down to getting a good pounce off, having that sort of long-range initiation ability to control someone long enough for your Lina or Tiny to get in position with the follow-up stuns.
Slowly but surely, though. Look at Crystallis. He's like at the bottom of those cores before. Soon approaching top and getting all the space in the world to farm.
Yeah. I mean, as I say, it's down to will this Slark get kills? And if not, then Crystallis, he'll be sitting at the top and only getting further ahead.
Yep, and then he'll join team fights with every buff in the world. Sure. Trying to deny a rune out the Forge Spirit with the Forge Spirit, can't quite. And Ari, he's getting closer and closer to Blink, so he's farming bottom to get that initiating force that they're still lacking to be able to push their lead a little bit here. They do have the other 2 timings pretty much done. Slark Ags as well as Razor. Need a way to start that fight and let the Razor get in there.
Got a bit of setup now. Over the Yules on Supreme.
Okay, he did switch it up. All right, he had the Blink Q with the Shard for some time. I know he bought the Shard, but okay, that's gonna be cool, especially versus Troll.
Secret. Getting into the jungle of Into the Breach in an effort to maybe try and find a Taker as he works towards that final component of the Aghanims, but they won't find anyone.
They found Ari. They saw him for a second there. This is a big kill too. He's so close to his Blink.
Looking very dead, and no backup will be coming his way.
They give it to Crystallis as well. Oh, that's such a man. That's such a painful death. 2,000 gold. He's dead for 20 seconds. Blink Dagger is going to be stalled quite a lot longer.
And they would have had that sort of timing where he hits that alongside the Ags on Slark,
exactly.
the Yules on Lina. Just when everything may have been able to come together for Into the Breach, it gets taken away from them a little bit longer.
Now there's a blink on Secret, on Nisha for him to make plays. Well, all things considered, though, it's like this farming kind of thing where Into the Breach is still, they're still getting a lot of farm on the map. They're still kind of chilling out. Not the worst case of scenarios for them, by any means.
See how Taker already feels like he's out on the hunt. Checking out the vision of the situation from Secret.
Rune? Denied. Constantly looking to play around these power runes, just denying them away from the Lina. Riots?
They might have it in the combo. They do. Don't waste no time deleting the techies.
Good cast range there. Of course, the Aether Lens, the Lina. Now the timings are there. I think Ari, Blink Dagger done, Ags on Slark.
Yeah, this is go time.
Let's see.
Not only do you have a situation where it's 5v4, and maybe 5v3. You know, suddenly one of the 4 of Secret that wants to be involved. He's out of the game for a bit of a window. If you strike hard and fast, you have a good chance of getting a kill. Ari will manage to do that. Set up there straight away onto Puppey. Taker, see if he's got enough build up here with the Essence Shift to take him down. They'll put the GA Puppey, but it won't keep him alive any longer.
51 stacks on the Slark now. Quick rotation also to bottom. They saw the troll, but unable to quite get him. Secret, they're the ones actually getting pressured this time around.
For my armor.
They're just having to kind of sit back and wait until they feel like Crystallis is ready to get involved. Perhaps when BKB is ready. Now they're smoke. They have Rezo with BKB. He also has level 12 and Dagger of Ristul. So this is a really big timing also for the Marcy. If he finds pretty much anybody, they'll kill him. Even this Razor, Jibe.
BKB and Static Link.
Nice timing.
And it is BKB Static Link onto the Marcy. A bit of a chance to walk this one on. Backup's coming in. Ari. He's in with the avalanche out onto the 2 of them. Zayat's getting very low. There's the combo thrown down by Supreme. as he bursts through Nisha. Reza having a run now with the remainder of his BKB, but into the breach, they're hot on the chase to take it. Missed the first bounce. That will actually mean a missed opportunity, or maybe not. Ari, he's still looking to clean up this opportunity for into the breach. He's in with the avalanche over the two of them. Chase forward here is a taker, crouches again on Crystallis. Puppy's going to try and head over to back him up. The turn will be able to get his ult off, but Supreme buying time with the Yule's control, trying to rip into the slot. But the stun from the light strike comes out onto him. Crystallis goes down. And the taker, he's looking for more. Those Puppy's hiding in this trees. They'll do a quick sweep of the tree line.
I mean, you have to give Jibe all the credit in the world. BKBs while the techies is mid-air suiciding onto him. I mean, if he gets hit from the stun,
sure. But it's so risky. It's a risky move there for Secret. I think he's getting that BKB off every time, though.
It was from the smoke, though, the suicide. It's a pretty quick reaction that the Eraser is able to get the BKB off. Like, that is insanely fast.
No, you're right. You're right. That was actually that's sort of a frame before.
Because he dies 100% there, and then a totally different fight happens. But they were super prepared for this rotation. And
great stuff from Ari on the chase out. You know, getting that first jump in, and then after that, good job getting away from this.
That was honestly big credit to Jibe. Either someone's calling it, or he's like literally staring at his hero so closely, because I've seen so many players not able to get the BKB.
No, you're absolutely right. That was as close as it gets. And
with the dagger of Ristul, with the sidekick, with the Marcy damage, it would have been enough. But yeah, he gets BKB link off and able to turn. And I thought he would die because of even with plate mail, if he gets hit by the stun, he's dead. But yeah, super impressive.
He's having a great game, top net worth, and he'll continue to do so, continue to be there after that last move. Going, of course, for the refresher up next, and it's not going to be there too far away. This is going to be a very, very stacked Razor, and we're seeing Into the Breach find these sort of fights that they need to be finding. They're getting Otaker involved, and they're sort of picking apart Secret one by one, and now towards the top, Nisha. Oh, just in time. I guess Pounce still cool down for 2 seconds. He used both the charges. But very much a testament to how Secret have to play right now. They've just got to stay away from Into the Breach unless they're fully prepared as 5. And even then, it's not easy for Secret to take the fight.
No, not by any means. At this point, with the farm that they have, Supreme also almost has Aghanims, so he can actually just soar in and perhaps kill Nisha in a lot of fights almost instantly. So. Like, Nisha is incredibly squishy now and under farmed because of these last few situations.
30% spell amp is it's insane. You know, already a hero that just deletes a lot of the heroes on the map. You know, especially 24 minutes in the game. Now with that, get caught in the combo, you're getting taken down. Puppy's going to have his work cut out for who he's able to save, and even if he's able to save anyone at all, when this amount of damage gets thrown down by Into the Breach's heroes.
And the distance it's going to be too, right? It's Lens and Eye of Vizier. So Supreme's going to be able to cast it from super far, and you can't... It's not even just about the ult. That's something I think people really have to really understand. Like, with the Shard and with this Ags, all your spells are insane. Like, your Light Strike Array is doing 500 damage. Your Dragon Slave is doing 450 damage. Everything is doing insane damage, so...
Well,
I gotta get on Supreme.
At the end of the day, it feels like in this first 25 minutes, Secret, they just needed to have a little bit more done by Nisha and Rezo. It's a slow start for these two cores, and uncharacteristically so. You know, it's not normal that you'll see Nisha at the bottom of the net worth when he's playing as Invoker 25 minutes in.
I think they're just getting the rotations and just getting kind of outplayed with Into the Breach. Like, the mid rotation that they wrapped around on was perfect. It kind of set the tempo for them to get these items, and then yeah, the top, the read from Jibe. Really big moves that are setting them up for this very good early game.
That's insane. Yeah. And yeah, Refresh is pretty much going to be there for the next fight. So you know, you couldn't catch him when he had 1 BKB charge. Good luck when he's got 2. To the Breach, keeping Secret on their toes this time. You know, we saw last game they had a decent opening, but they needed to be ahead. They couldn't do that. This time around, same things to be said in terms of what was required when they run this lineup, but they're executing it to exactly the level they need to. 4K lead, 25 minutes in. It's just a little too much for Secret to deal with at this point.
Yeah, it actually almost feels like the reversal of what I was feeling in this game, where it's Secret the ones unable to really make anything, and they have 3 cores that aren't playmakers, right? Kind of in a way. It feels like that, at least. They have now Basher on Rezo, so they're still decently farmed on their 3 cores. But this Lina and Razor are kind of just... At least the Razor produces that counter, of course, versus a lot of the damage that'll come out, because he literally is going to have Refresher for the next one.
Yeah.
He can link up with both of the melees.
I'm very much, you know, showing one of the reasons why they'll pick this Lina early on in the draft. Preem, proving to have a good game, despite what you pick against him. 2-0-3. They've yet to be able to touch him. He's going for the BKB next, so it's going to be even harder to get on top of him. Yeah, and as you say, his positioning's just been perfect in the fights.
Nearly 18 as well. And they don't also, the thing is they don't have a traditional like frontliner, right, with their lineup. It's an RA Tiny who just kind of like blinks in and initiates. The frontline is just, it's bizarre. Sure. But it's working.
And it was, you know, not the quickest of Blink Dagger timings, but as soon as he had it, we saw how impactful he was in that last fight. And there we go. I mean, Jibei, the items just continue to fly out. That was what the refresher all done. They're ready to go. They're ready to fight here into the breach. So the question is, if Secret, are they going to be ready for this?
Feels like Secret's the one who are really lackluster in the initiation department now in comparison.
Yeah, for the most part, the initiation is what Zayat's jumping in or Rezo jumping in. And both of those sort of moves, there's potential for reaction, potential for counterplay. And, you know, if Jibei's as hot on the BKB button as he was in that last situation, good luck being able to disrupt the Razor at the start of the fight.
I imagine even more so this time he will, because he has two of them. So
yeah, he'll be
perhaps protect that link a bit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, indeed, do you think Lotus is going to be the most impactful pickup for Puppey with this amount of money he's building up?
He tends to be a more greedy of a player. I don't think I ever see Puppey build 4 staff. I think he always goes for the big ticket items. You can see arguments for it this game for sure. A lot of different like cool things to go and reflect and whatnot. If he gets the timing of it versus the Razor, it'll be godly. If he doesn't, then perhaps not. So.
And we'll see how well Into the Breach can do once and if the Troll and Marcy get on top of them, right? Because we'll both have their bashers good to go.
He did. Oh, he went basher. Oh. I was waiting to see what Crystal's committed for, because he had the SNY queued up for a long time. So it's just gonna be bash bros to stick on targets then. I mean, for the Lina, definitely could be a problem until she has BKB.
I mean, if they get on top of her, and Supreme, as I say, he's been keeping the distance perfectly. He doesn't get any closer than he needs to.
Yeah, they're not giving opportunities for Secret to get on him at all, for sure.
Yeah, and with this timing, they're going to be able to get BKB done on Supreme before the next fight's even needed at this pace.
And I think even on a Taker as well, too, so they might even have, like, quad BKB timing. I said quad because Razor will have 2, but yeah, triple BKB timing for the cores.
It's going to be down to if Secret can get the Troll and the Marcy on top of these heroes and buff them up, keep them alive long enough to be able to stand the ground and man fight against them.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's really going to be the big thing. Do they get on the Lina? Do they find Supreme? Especially pre-BKB.
Give me much of a window, though. 200 gold and he'll have it. Yeah, 9-3. And we're 30 minutes in.
Super slow game.
It's a slow game, but I do feel it's still been a lot to talk about.
It's very like macro game so far, where Into the Breach, because they got that advantage in the mid game, they're able to sit back and farm, where Secret can't actually pressure them. So they're probably just telling themselves, we have an advantage, wait for the timing of BKBs, and then we can just go. Yeah, they're about to have all the timing. Almost 20 on Lina too, so maybe, I mean, they could even look to be like, hey, I'm close to 20 on Lina. I almost have my spell amp talent. Maybe we wait on that too.
I mean, they're getting very, very strong. They really are. And as it's played out so far, they've known the right times to make moves with this lineup, this draft. Something that they're proven to be very confident with, and impressively so, considering sort of the situation in which the Slark was picked up. The pressure was on in the draft, but so far it's fitting perfectly in the way they want to play. We'll see Secret maybe consider. I mean, could they sneak the Roshan, or is there just no way without a fight?
It'll get scouted for sure. Like CM will nuke or something to check the pit, and yeah, Kidaro's going to do it right now.
He's going like, what are you guys doing in here?
He's like, where are they? They haven't shown in a while. Just has to keep checking, keeping tabs. I see the double blinks also queued up. Maybe Secret want to wait for those blink daggers.
I mean, they have
that would give them the element.
They've got to get on top of these heroes.
Yeah, I see Crystallis as well as Rezo. Rezo hasn't really farmed much in a long time, but Crystallis, he pretty much has it done if he'd like to. Of course, playing around Roche, they're probably all thinking, of course, of buybacks as well too and stuff, but...
It's the smoke. To the breach. They're very, very strong at this point. Blink dagger, it's out. The Crystallis.
Unbelievably strong. All these BKBs, glimmers. Look how tanky Jibei is too, Sage.
To the point where if Secret see you running at them, I think if you're Secret, you start to run, right? You don't go ahead into this if you see into the breach.
I think you wait your blink daggers. I think you really want to wait for blinks so you can just get on the Lena's face. Rezo might get caught though.
I think he certainly will. Ari in with the jump. Oh, not quite able to get the follow-up from the light strike. So we'll be BKBs out from both cores, both offlaners as they'll split.
Jibby's got a second one though.
Secret still hanging around. Zayt's gonna look for the jump in. See Ari will touch up the backlines. The Taker's gonna go pop the BKBs in over towards Pumpy, but this time Chrysalis closes the gap on Jibbe. Jibbe out of the fight for a minute. Taker's BKB soon to be coming to an end. Supreme has got to be careful. Point BKB trying to get away from Chrysalis. He's in on top of him. On top of the leader. Try and protect Supreme. Turn with another stun. In fact, Ari get the avalanche off. That's Chrysalis going down. Nisha is trying to deal with Supreme. Throws out the meteor, but he's able to kite this out. Supreme as he steps to the side. Turns back towards Nisha. Nisha falls. Rezo jumps in. Finally finishing off the kill onto the Lina, but it's down here to the two of them. From Rezo. Gonna hold back against the Taker. Taker's gonna still want to go though. Finds the angle, pounce over towards Rezo. So that's the rebound up though. And the Zayt's around will manage to jump away. 38 essence shift there from Taker, getting the big numbers. So overall, Secret coming out with a fewer casualties. They take out 4, they lose 3.
Especially with this type of disadvantage of the fight, they definitely come out ahead. The troll, Chrysalis, he just blinks on top of Razor, kills him pretty much as the fight starts. That was a really good play, actually.
That's what you got.
All things considered, too, with the way it started, like Secret having to defensively pop BKB and stuff like that, I think they're probably pretty happy with that. At least for the troll. Nisha, though, continues to struggle. He actually blinked in the face of them at the end there and gets killed.
I think one thing that tripped them up as well was that position where they tried to finish off Supreme, but I believe what Taker with the shard, able to provide that depth throughout, that bit of protection for Supreme during those last moments.
Oh, good call. Actually, I didn't get to see this. Yeah, I didn't get to see
it here.
Shroud.
You know, Chrysalis, again, trying to get on top of these important heroes, but Depth Shroud just stops him in his tracks, gives Supreme that chance to live that little bit longer, get a few more spells out, and bait Nisha into this position where he's jumping in aggressively and ends up losing his life as a result of it.
I was clicking around too. I was like, did he get glimmered? I didn't actually see the slug shard, so good call. Yeah,
I think it was only just picked up before that fight. I think.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it in action yet. And talking about the dispels, Taker, he's going to look to have that covered. Wants to get the nullifier.
Okay. I mean, they need somebody to get rid of these buffs at least. But yeah, okay. I mean, we got to see finally, I feel like the first team fight of the game where everybody was involved, so get to see the potential of the further ones, sure, as he does increase. And we get to see Crystallize finally do something, right? Finally be able to get on top of the target.
Into the breach, they want to go again. They want to strike. Taker is going to look to it. Double pounce, keep the control up onto Zayt. Crystallize trying to help out, but already under the Shadow Dance. He might take it initially. Now the Shadow Dance comes around. They'll try and fight this, but Ari in with the Blink Avalanche. He wants to see where to back off. Puppy will buy back immediately. Crystallize, he's going to blitz out onto Jibbe, but Jibbe's going to be able to break away from Crystallize during the battle chance and the BKB. Crystallize will be able to turn towards Kadara, get his hands on him instead. Kills him off before the Glimmy Cape comes into action. He can get more. I mean, Ari, stun control on Rezo. Crystallize trying to get in onto the tiny. We'll see a buyback from Kadara into the breach. They're the ones that want to keep this fight going. Ari struggling his way up to the high ground. Sunstrike is coming in, finishes him off. Nisha's able to catch him on the retreat. Ready to go, set up the pounce. See Puppy find the buffs, allow Crystallize to break away from this. Taker be able to disengage once more.
That was incredibly scary. Puppy being forced to buy back to make sure that his cores are able to reset away, needing that Heavenly Grace.
They can look for Roshan, though. Despite the fight not being too clean for Into the Breach, they're around the pit. It's been scouted. Actually, that will scare them to the point where they won't try and look to sneak it. They were considering it, but obviously not really the best of lineups to try and take it while Secret's alive.
Not if Slark. Slark needs to have a ton of stacks if they want to go for those type of Roche steals. Does not have nearly enough. And I think Ari's super important. I think they have to wait for this Tiny too. Watching the way he's taking the fights with his Blink Force, he's getting multiple series of Avid tosses in on like 2 heroes every time. I think he's actually one of the most important ones in the fights for control. Christos has finally taken top network. After a struggling game, finally made his way up there.
And a lot of money at the moment still unspent on Taker. He is close to the nullifier. But, very much the feeling that he'll want to have that done before he's forced to fight again. Helm on its way out, just a few hundred off the relic. Next fight.
Okay. Crystallis is going for the MKB, I guess, for that halberd and stuff, and he's actually, they're forcing him to carry a dust on the troll. He's got to have it for the CM, for the Glimmer Cape.
And then they've got to be so prepared for this Blink Hex from Nisha. You know, they're getting all these items up that are going to make it very hard for, like, Supreme to sort of survive that initial from Secret.
Ooh, Ari in a beautiful position there, breaks the smoke. And a timeless relic. Ooh, Supreme if he...
I think he certainly would.
He got the dream. He got Spell Prism and Timeless Relic, so he's got to pick and choose.
What do you take?
Timeless Relic.
I think so, right. That was sort of on top of the spell out from the Ags. You know, you do the maths, because I certainly won't be. It's a lot of damage.
It's insane.
And the talent as well. Spell amp for days. You get caught in this sort of combo. I mean, of course, having the Omni Knight's definitely going to be able to offset a bit of it. So the buffs you provide. Hello, Ari. The jump setup onto Zayat. Zayat's trying to get away from this, but Oteka in on top of him will finish him. He's going to look towards the next hill. He's over towards Puppy. He's trying to hold back the tornado, but the BKB's out from Oteka. Yeah, for now, Puppy, but he'll come straight back down into towards Oteka. Oteka's not done. He'll look towards Razor. Razor puts the BKB in the ult, trying to turn towards Oteka, but the Death Shroud's down. Cannot stay on top of the slab for now. Right, jumps back in here. He's committed with the buyback to try and help them take this fight. But put the refresher on Razor. Ult from Crystallis. He's heading in over towards Gibbe. He's in on top of him, but indeed no damage being done whatsoever. Finally, the BKB comes out. He'll continue to try and trade with Gibbe, but he's already lost so much damage that Crystallis, he has to run. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any help to help him get out of there. Crystallis is gone. Redeem this fight. Look for the buyback, Crystallis. They're looking to do their best to turn this, trying to hunt down Gibbe. He's limited in those last moments, but the dust is out. Another buyback, this time from into the breach. Supreme, ready to step back in, and there's the jump. Ari, he's in with the avalanche on the two of them. Nisha, he's got to run his solo. He's able to get the Ghost Walk off in time, but the Laguna catches Crystallis. Has a dieback on the roll. Bounce from a... Thinking he'll be able to find Nisha off to the side. Secret, the two big cores out of the game, and no buyback available for either.
And they've got Roche now available into the breach. I mean, amazing team fight really from them. It's awkward fight really from Crystallis in particular. They are able to they disarm him, they stun combo him, they bait out the whole battle trance, then he buys back and just gets controlled again. They're just toying with him at this point.
Dire's middle tower.
I mean, maybe sort of, I don't know if this was the BKB was on cooldown, but right, we saw the initial up come out without the BKB.
I think it was up. When I clicked him, it was up at least.
And that's always a risk, right? If you're going in with the ult but not getting the BKB off first, you're going to run into difficulties.
You're going to run into Heaven's Halberd every time. Jibbe on point with it every single time. Itemization, like everything really from this Razor has been perfect. Yep, and Supreme, yeah, used the buyback before. They'll give him the Aegis. They're doing excellent jobs in all these fights, and we're not seeing really the...
Dire's top tower's
not really feeling the effect and the damage, at least, from all the buffs that we talked about. You know, the Heavenly Grace Alacrities and stuff like that. I feel like Secret's not able to stick on targets because they're actually constantly getting kited themselves, too. Rezo, he's 2-0 and 9-0. He hasn't died yet, but I'm not feeling him able to really stick on targets at all.
That's very true.
That force field leads me to believe that Dire just fortified
now,
their structure.
into the breach.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Towards the tier 2 top. Secret now down 8k and having to deal with a situation now where they're going to have to fight to a Lina and an Aegis.
It's all fake!
And now they can't do the buff ups, of course, as you mentioned previously. You know, there was the nullifier that had come out from the Slark even before that last fight, so definitely really difficult for Crystallis.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower
into any of these fights. Has to just be super careful how he pops trance, how he pops BKB, everything. Feels like he has to kill somebody in a battle trance, so the fights are going to be pretty horrible.
See, you know, for into the breach now, when you have this sort of lead, like, are you still under pressure to keep the pressure on, or with the way things are going, you're kind of comfortable in this point?
I think you're very comfortable. You have 3 cores that can, you have 2 cores that can scale really hard, at least in the right-click department, and 1 that scales in the one-shot hero department of Alina, close to 25.
Absolutely, yeah, all 3 cores in a fantastic spot.
And I'm actually really glad, because I was a little worried that I'd see Supreme do the right-click build. I'm so happy he went with Spellcaster. I know it's more of a standard this time, but I'm still seeing some right-click leanness. This was the perfect, because his 2 other cores are those right-clickers.
And now for Secret, what's the play from them? Is there any sort of item coming up soon that they want to try and get done that might help them turn the tide?
No, I mean, you just need to blink and one-shot a target with your Hex and your Suicide combos. Like, you need to just kill a target immediately with your jumps. But it can't be Supreme because he has Aegis.
Oh,
Rezo?
He's going to jump in for this. He has to immediately rebound back out of there. As pretty much the entire team into the breach reveal themselves. He has to run back with the BKB used.
BKB and ult popped on full retreat.
That was the ult as well. It's going to be painful. Ari, he's looking to hunt them down.
There's so much chase. 5 seconds on the next punch. Zayats, he'll get away. Not feel easy for Secret to kill any of the targets. Nisha, doing a refresher, maybe feeling like they need like a double Hex, double Meatball, double Sunstrike kind of combo to kill.
Under attack.
They're just feeling lots of weaknesses. Or lots of weaknesses now at this point versus what they're up against to actually kill any of these bursts at a time. Almost 3 level 25s coming out too. Jib at 23. Tinker's about to hit 25. Alina.
Who's got the most impactful 25 out of these three?
Ooh, out of these three? I mean, the Razor one is pretty insane. Yeah. The static link steals attack speed, I gotta be honest. But the Lina one is also pretty busted. The Pierce's immunity. Because then you just literally always have free reign to be able to ult these targets.
Yeah, and especially when it's piercing immunity with the amount of damage that it does.
Yeah. All that spell amp.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Secret starting to trying to gather themselves together here. Preparing for the inevitable and into the breach. They are so hungry for anything in this sort of situation that if you show yourself in any of these lanes, they'll be straight on you.
Yeah, they're fast to rotate, and I like this game a lot of how they've stuck together more and not really shown people and getting picked off almost at all. I think I've seen like nobody really get picked off. Well, last time, like Supreme in particular, he got picked off constantly from Nisha. They're doing a good job of babying each other really nicely with the rook.
Certainly feeling like it. Secret
Oh boy,
can't get Chrysalis into the fight and keep him alive. If this troll dies early on, you know, sure, Marcy has potential, but just across the board, it feels like the damage just won't be there. You know, outside of the troll being able to get kills to sort of threaten into the breach's heroes at a pace fast enough.
Jibe showed himself. They might go for this. He has a Linken's though. This might trip them up on the initiation.
I was going to say you're not getting that Blink Hex off anytime soon. See, over to the side. Ari pretty much able to get a 4-man avalanche out, but the BKB and the ult from Chrysalis, it's there. Head over to watch Kadari, but Kadari's having quite some time with the glimpse. They did quite have detection. Chrysalis just gets deleted by Supreme. He's out of the game. Over to the side, Zayats and Nisha, they're trying to deal with a take-up, but the Depth Shroud's up. Nisha still wants to attempt to finish this off. He's got the Hex, but Kadari catches Zayats off to the side. It's 2 dead on Secret, and Nisha, he's having a run. Goes into the breach, they're looking to chase. We'll be able to blink to the side. And TPL will get him away. That's 2 heroes down, and indeed, you're just seeing there the unbelievable amount of damage that this Lina offers up. As soon as that ult comes to an end on Chrysalis, so does his life if the Lina's alive and in range.
I have to give a lot of credit to the breach for their reaction time in this game too. Jibe with the BKB earlier. This fight was Oteka with the Dark Pact. They jumped him on the high ground to hex him, and I'm pretty sure that's how the fight started. He Dark Pacted it off. They wanted to burst him, not the Tiny, but he was able to Dark Pact off and survive because of the initiation. So 2 times now they get these kind of God darks.
He's ready to go, jumping up here towards tier 4s there to try and find some setup. They're holding back Secret. 2 heroes down, they don't stand a chance of defending this mid-racks. Into the breach, they'll take it. Could maybe look for more. Top is exposed, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like there is any pressure. They can take it chill, back up, get the outpost, maybe even wait for the next Roshan if they want to. They can feel and they know how far ahead they are of Team Secret right now.
Yeah, especially when the Lina just goes and almost one-shots the Troll Warlord, right? Supreme.
Check this out again.
We'll see it again. I'm like pretty sure, right? Look, yeah, the Dark Pact comes off as he got hexed, and he's able to get his ult off. So yeah, they want to burst shot Slark. They can't. Fight becomes really complicated.
They couldn't kill the CM. I mean, off to the side, Kadara just hides. Of course, these 2 cores, Rezo and Chrysalis, they've not got detection. So Kadara able to live, and next thing you know, you just there we go again. Absolutely right. Last game, it was Nisha just blowing up Supreme to his base. This time, revenge is definitely being had.
Oh, that's gotta feel so good.
Gold is a
Supreme making a full comeback this game. Fully 6 slotted, 6-2 and 8.
No, very much sending a message. You know, hey, you want to pick your Invoker early? I'll pick my Lina early, and I'll come in with the big plays. He certainly has. It's like, how do you even deal with this? Again, you need to get on top of him. But at this point, with this many items, this much farm, and sort of the lack of it on the cause of Secret, it just feels like that's not going to happen.
At this point, she's too big. Yeah, she even has Wind Waker, so multiple different ways to protect herself now too once it gets out of the career. They're so far ahead now. Really beautiful. Really beautiful teamwork from Into the Breach this game. And just the Breach, I have to give them massive credit for the timings, the BKBs, the Dark Packs, etc. It's been an excellent game from them and from everybody, really. As I mentioned, for Ari, his Tiny's been spectacular this game. His constant resets and initiations have been perfect.
Yeah, it's been just sort of great to see this Slark response work out. You know, something that looked kind of concerning from the drop, but Taker, he's been crushing with it, and just as a whole, as a team, it just seems like they know exactly how to play around it. And in a situation where a lot of the popular and top sort of carry picks were being limited, and the question was had, what will match up against what Secret have done here with all these buffs for the Troll? The way they've played has been the perfect answer. They'll move into the Roche pit now. Secret, they won't be able to contest this, or if they do, it's going to be a bit of a YOLO attempt.
Yeah, I love the itemization too. I mean, the Ags is very standard, but he went Mage Slayer first item, right? Just so he can have this little bit of mana regen and whatnot. It's really nice. You're not worried about getting techies because you have all this magic resist, so I think, yeah, across the board into the Breach, they played this game super well and incredibly attentive when these like plays come with those BKBs and whatnot, so. Lots of 25s now, as we mentioned. Gibbet 25 also. That's what finishes up a refresher, so at least he'll have the second BKB and second ult inside of fights, but pretty close to him not having mana for everything.
Well, Supreme, he's feeling cheeky here. He's ready to blow someone up if he steps in.
Anybody he sees is dead. It's 3,000 burst damage about.
Stay away from the Lina if you value your life. I see how well Secret's able to hold here on the high ground defense. It's not going to be easy.
No, exactly. All the cores are absolutely massive, and they also have to just watch out for toss-back plays too on Secret.
Dire's bottom tower.
Gibbet's like, you know what? Let's just wait for the AC.
Yeah, chilling.
Get that done. And sort of
farming.
The emotional damage as well, right? When you draw out a victory like this, knowing that there's still third game, everything to be played for in that. You know, you're really looking to get under Secret's skin in preparation for that deciding game.
He showed himself.
What they can do, I mean, they've tried to jump Supreme with the Hex. Nisha now revealing himself. Yeah, he's got a BKB TP. Cannot take any risks there out on the map.
They were trying to get the setup for the Lina, but they almost got set up themselves. All three lanes pushing in.
Minutes on the clock. One of the games that we've had in qualifiers.
One of the slower starts as well too. This was very slow.
I think it was as far as aware, they're only like 3 kills in at 30 minutes. Here to the side, they managed to catch Zayt's out of the base. Tesla will look to come in with the BKB, but again, he's having to use this BKB to run. So Taker will be focused. Prison jumps in, but oh my goodness, the E-blade into the Laguna. We fall so low there from the combo. He's not going to be able to survive through that at all. Dead out the game for 90 seconds. They'll step up towards Lucky. The buyback will come out. He's ready for another jump on the Reset. Reset doesn't have buyback available. Science goes down. Chrysalis, he tries to step in, but gets disarmed. Supreme, he's ready to run him down. There's the combo once again. Doesn't even be a Laguna, but that's going to point through the Troll. Catch out Nisha. Triple kill for Supreme. Science will throw his body in an attempt to hold them back, but there's no way of turning around this game.
He's unstoppable!
As they're just taking them apart one by one. They'll look to close it up with a team wipe, and there it is. Everybody's dead. Supreme gets the Ultra.
He didn't get the
Come back
rampage.
from him.
He deserved the
What
rampage.
happened in game one? He did. He really did. His leader performance there, fantastic. And it was an early pick in the draft. He didn't care what you did against him. He knew he was going to have a good game, and he certainly did exactly that. 41k lead, 52 minutes in. But we're going to a game 3 in a series where